Fighting talk back again, and today I'm delighted to say I'm joined by George Smith ahead of his fight against Matthew Bonner on Cage Warriors 114. George, firstly, thank you for taking the time out to talk to us tonight. How have things been the last few months? I mean, it's been very different since you last made the walk.
Yeah, definitely. It's been crazy. I mean, I've been up, I've been down, I've been depressed. I've been everything in the past few months. So it's like coming out of it. Yeah, I'm just glad to be here with a fight booked.
Yeah, last week, of course, the fight was announced against Matthew Bonner. What do you make of the matchup?
Yeah, it's good. He's a tough guy. People know about him. He's got a bit of a name in Cage Warriors. He's always in good fights. But yeah, I think my skill level's too high. And yeah, I'm just confident really. I like the match.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him? Because I know a lot of his fights do go decisions. You're a very early finisher, like the 4 now first round finishes. How do you see that fight playing out? And what sort of fight do you see him bringing?
I think yeah, I don't know. He's always going to be in front of me, and that's just Bonner for you. He's going to be there. He's going to be coming forward, throwing hands, kicks. He's not scared of wrestling either. You've got to expect the unexpected with him, to be honest. But I'm just concentrating on me, to be honest. I know I'm good enough to beat him over 15 minutes, and I'm good enough to put him away. So I'm just confident in myself.
How important has that been for you, I guess, over the last few months where you've not had an opponent, you've not had a fight coming up, but for you to work on yourself as a fighter and not be having to sort of concentrate on a face in front of you, but actually get to work on yourself and focus on your skills and hone on yourself as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how Matt has his training anyway. Like so through last year, I probably had 2 weeks off in total, 2 or 3 weeks. Through I think I had 5 fights in 2019. I was meant to have 6, but I've just kept consistent. I've always kept consistent. I struggle to stay at home. I struggle to rest. So I'm always in doing jiu-jitsu, striking class, whatever it is. I'm always there, just improving. So um, I can't remember the last time I've missed a training session that was meant to be at. I just don't miss sessions. I'm just so consistent with it, and that's where I get my confidence from. So if I didn't turn up, I'd be sat home thinking, questioning. So I just have to be in there all the time. It's a bit annoying actually. I know I should be resting, but I'm just sat there thinking I should be at training. So I'll get to the sessions starts at 7 in the evening, and I'll be sat home, and I know it's meant to be my rest night or whatever, but I end up setting off. I just have to go. I can't miss sessions. It's annoying, but I just have to be there.
You mentioned Matt there, of course, Matt Inman, the coach at SBG Manchester. What was that vibe like when them gym doors first opened post lockdown?
Yeah, I mean the normal class hasn't resumed as such, but we've got an elite license, so we can the pros preparing for fights can train. But because SBG is so busy, it's tough to open, and the gym's not massive either. Trying to cram 200 members in on the evening, trying to keep it distance and stuff. It's quite unrealistic at the minute. So I suppose we're gonna have to start slowly at the gym. But everyone's missing it. Like Matt's Mr. Consistent as well. He just loves coaching, training, and I can tell he's missing it. But we just got to crack on, and got a few big fights now as well. Cartwright's going to be on one of them shows. I'm on one of the shows. Who else we got? Got Proctor fighting for the world title as well. So I'm sure Matt will be around for that. And yeah, so it's just the buzz is around again, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
If we go, I guess, back to March, that show, the BEC Arena, sold out, I believe it was. The Vibe in Manchester, I was down there myself, yourself, Jack on the card. Then you mentioned that SBG contingency. You had Adam Proctor, of course, fighting. You had Luke Penberthy, young lad out of SBG Bishop Auckland as well. That was your first fight as well in Manchester. I mean, what was that like as a sort of experience?
It was good. I mean, I'm a Yorkshire guy originally, but so a lot of my friends come over from there. But I think Manchester has got behind me, and people, just general people in Manchester, and fight fans, businesses, everything. Everyone's got behind me, and when I walked out, I was like, "This is I love it. Like I love big crowds. The bigger the crowd, the better for me. I buzz off it all. I love the noise, the pressure. I love everything about it. So it was good for me that night, and I enjoyed it.
You mentioned, of course, having that crowd there when you make the walk come September. It's going to be a very different atmosphere. It will be behind closed doors. How are you going to have to adjust for getting yourself psyched up for making that walk? What will differ from when it is in front of a big noisy crowd?
I'm quite level, to be honest. Although I'm good at taking it all in. I love the crowd. I love big nights and stuff. But you got to remember, I've come from judo where I've competed for almost 20 years in small sports halls with no crowd, and just nobody cheering, like the odd mum screaming something. But apart from that, it's this is what my whole martial arts career has been like, just in small halls with no noise. So I'm used to it. I enjoy the crowds, but I don't like need it to get up for a fight. A fight takes place regardless of the crowd or not. So I'm buzzing for it, to be honest. It's and if you can't get, I know for a fact it's going to be the biggest TV audience I've fought in front of. So if that's enough pressure and that's enough eyes to get me started up, I know definitely.
I know as well over the last couple of days there's been other fights announced in the middleweight division. Of course, you've got Matthias Fredericks defending his belt against Jamie Richardson. You've got James Webb versus Craig White, yourself and Bonner. I mean, that's, I think, without doubt, the top six in the division. There's a potential over the next sort of 18 months to 2 years could all sort of be fighting each other. If you do get your hand raised in September, I know you're not into call-outs, but is there somebody that you would potentially be looking at, or the winner of one of them other bouts?
I mean, the title's the only thing I'm not bothered about individuals' names or anything like that. Just that belt. Whoever's got it, whether it is Jamie or Matthias, it's just I just want that belt, and whoever means that I've got to fight to get to it and prove myself, I'm willing to do it. So yeah, I don't know. That Craig White fight and James, I'm close with James, and I can see James winning that. To be honest, I think he's grappling up and his size as well. I don't think Craig White does particularly well at middleweight, but I mean, I'm sure he'll look to prove that wrong, to prove everyone wrong and get that win. But who else you got? Jamie Richardson. He's going to bring it. He's going to give Matthias a fight. Definitely, it's going to be a bit of a tear up in the first few rounds. But as I see it, I'd imagine Matthias has been normal 4 rounds and 5 rounds. That's he's done it before. I think he's quite big as well. I can see him draining Jamie in that fight. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a scrap in it. They're not going to take a backward step from each other.
Yeah, I think it's spot on with that. Yeah, in terms of this as well, as like from a Cage Warriors perspective, to be putting on the trilogy is the first event back, 3 fights, 3 nights. Is it like sort of a competing athlete yourself? How incredible is that to see a promotion that you signed for working so hard to get so many fighters active as quick as they could?
Yeah, no, I mean, hats off to him. I always say they're the best at the premier promotion in Europe. I mean, anyone can debate that with me if they want. Who they think's best in Europe, and they've given so many fighters a platform to push on, and that's what they're doing again. You can't argue with any of the fights on the card. You've got world title fights that are legitimate fights. Like if you saw Proctor or Mason get signed to UFC tomorrow as a lightweight or as a welterweight, you'd say fair enough, wouldn't you? It's not. You kind of nod your head. Jack Cartwright, if he got signed, nobody's going to say he's walked into the. He's earned it, and you earn it in Cage Warriors. You earn it every minute when you fight for the promotion. So yeah, I love the competition and getting us all fights this close after like the lockdown and stuff. It's great. I love it.
Is it almost, I guess, a bit too soon after the gym's being opened? Because I know what normally you're looking 6 to 8 week fight camp if you like, but then of course it's getting your timing back in. Do you think some fighters may have or could have done with a few weeks extra, or do you think it should have been one of them where I've spoken to so many fighters the last couple of weeks who are so keen now on staying in shape, staying fit, staying ready to fight a year through. Do you think that now is the new mentality for the mixed martial artist?
Yeah, I think so. I think with I was listening to Eddie Earn talk about this type of thing. You've got to be the market's not going to allow you to have easy fights anymore. The fight shows that are going to go ahead, they are going to be competitive fights, and that's kind of what he's had to do with that fight camp in boxing, and I think that's what MMA's had to do as well. If you look at the UFC, every fight that's been on has been competitive and good. There's been not a single bad fight, and I think Cage Warriors have had to put some of the guys who they wouldn't have had fighting together and try and get all the contracted guys. And I think everyone, instead of importing a European guy or trying to get someone that you've not heard of in for someone, I think it's just competitive fights all the way through. And as an athlete, I like to see that anyway. You want to prove yourself as the number one in your promotion, don't you? So before you move on to the UFC.
I know we were just speaking there as well before we start recording. You were just saying that you'd spoke to the BBC. I know they've ran articles on Mason, of course, fighting. Liam McCourt regularly features. What's that like to now eventually see MMA getting featured regularly with these mainstream media outlets?
I think I've been trying to do it for years. Like I've just passing the mess. I know Mason as well from judo, so I think he's similar to me. Anyway, he's got a similar story. And I think it's people like that, Proctor, nice kid, and just more we get out there and chatting to people and showing what good sport is with what athletes it's got in it. I think people buy into the stories anyway. I think the British fight fan likes the boy next door kind of story. Like the normal guy. We've probably got you're either like Conor McGregor or the boy next door. Like Bisping's a bit, he's just one of the lads in it, or you've got Conor who's a bit just different. I think everyone buys into that, like a bit of a, I'm a bit like him, and I think a lot of the Cage Warriors guys are a bit like that. We're not in there to fighting for money. We're doing it for something big. Get to the UFC and prove that we're best in the world, and I think that's what people are buying into at the minute. Real fights, nice guys, and I think that's why the BBC are definitely getting more into it.
You mentioned the UFC there, of course. Let's say 2-3 fights time. Ultimately, is that where you see the contract coming, or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've just got to keep winning every fight, haven't you? If you keep winning fights, the opportunities are going to come. Don't look for an easy route. But yeah, I'm only 25 as well, so if as a middleweight, I've got plenty of time, and a lot of these guys are in a rush to get that contract signed. But to me, if I just keep winning fights, I know I'm going to get there. So I'm not chasing it. I'm not chasing money. I just got to keep winning fights. I feel good enough to do it. And yeah, just getting more confidence as well. Just being the person that people expect me to be. Like my coach and people around me who believe in me. Just becoming that person. Becoming the fight that everyone knows I can be. So just got to keep developing, and I know if I train hard, I'm going to win fights definitely.
Finally, I know you're a massive football fan. I can't let you go without mentioning it. Leeds back in the Premier League. You must be delighted with that, are you?
That's the only thing that's got me back up into the sport. It's been mad. Like I said, I had a big dip in lockdown. I was just thinking this is just rubbish. Like I didn't enjoy anything. And then as soon as football come back, it just changed the game. I was excited to train again. I was excited to do things, and like there's a proper buzz around the city now as well. And you can see in the Leeds media as well. Like I've got loads of these lads from different podcasts and like Leeds United podcast trying to speak to me because they see that there's an opportunity to get a Leeds like Ellen Road fight, or try and get the UFC to the Leeds Arena or Ellen Road or something. That's what they want to see. Try and do what Josh Warrington did.
Yeah.
So just a buzz in general in sport really now. And I've seen some of the. I watch all the matches obviously on that I could of getting promotion the last one we couldn't go because I'm a season ticket holder, so I would usually be there. But It's been stupid. I haven't stopped singing Leeds songs for about 3 months now.
I know we've seen with the likes of Jai Herbert and Wolves really getting behind him. For you, what would it mean for Leeds to back their local athlete?
Oh, that's probably one of my biggest things, to be honest. If Leeds get behind me, the Leeds fans get behind me, which I know they will as well. Like, I can see it now. I'm getting messages all the time, followed by Leeds fans. I get stopped as well. Just before lockdown, when I was still watching, going to my seat at Leeds, people were, "Oh, you're the fighter," and that kind of thing. And so I can see it building now. Whereas before, people like, "Who's he?" Like, it's, it got weird mangled here, but I probably thought I was a rugby player or something. But now people are knowing who I am, so it's good, mate. It's you got to make the most of this stuff. And why can't I bring the UFC to Leeds? Do you know what I mean? You got to dream big, and if you keep working hard, things like that will happen. So yeah, I'm just like some of these journalists as well that I've followed for years about transfer rumors and stuff, are now talking about me. I'm just it's a bit weird. Like, I'm not like the most outspoken people, so it's like when you see people that you like look up to, or you follow yourself for other reasons. Yeah, it's good. It's good, mate. I'm buzzing with it.
Finally, George, just before I let you go, can I get a prediction off you for how you see the result of the fight?
Yeah, just dominant performance from me again. Yeah, just going for the finish, but I just want to bully people. I'm big enough. I've got the skills. I know I can take him apart. So yeah, he's tough though. So I mean, saying I'm going to finish him around, you just don't know with this guy. But I'm willing to punish him for 15 minutes. So I'm excited for it.
Spot on. George, thank you very much for your time and all the best come fight night.
Pal, thanks for speaking
Thank
to
you,
me.
mate. Cheers.